begin this Wednesday with the escalating deportation fight over the fate of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He is the man wrongfully deported to El Salvador, and he's currently being held in a notorious maximum security prison despite several court orders. Those rulings include one from the Supreme Court determining he is allowed to be here legally, and there's also another ruling that the Trump administration should facilitate his return. But the administration has doubled down as both Vice President Vance and Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt insist Abrego Garcia is a member of the MS-13 gang and he has no right to be in the country, although the government has yet to provide proof of any gang-related activity. Today, Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland is heading to El Salvador in an attempt to visit and free Abrego Garcia. Here's the senator before he left today.
I'm here at the airport. I'm about to board my flight for San Salvador. The goal of this mission is to let the Trump administration, to let the government of El Salvador know that we are going to keep fighting to bring Abrego Garcia home until he returns to his family.
News Nation's Robert Sherman live for us at the White House with the very latest on this back and forth. Robert, so what are you hearing today from both sides?
Yeah, well, Nichole, first and foremost, the judge in this case is saying that Abrego Garcia should be returned to the U.S., as the courts have previously ruled, slamming the government for lack of action and adding that there is going to be an intense 2-week period of discovery to determine if the government is acting in good faith. As attorneys for Abrego Garcia's family tell our own Chris Cuomo, they're confident that in the end, he'll come home.
I think it's in the government's interest to avoid a constitutional crisis. I think it's in El Salvador's interest to avoid this. I think they don't like the publicity on this right now. I am hopeful that the government will comply with the Supreme Court's order.
But the White House, once again, today, not yielding, re-upping their claim he is a member of MS-13, though not providing specific details on that, saying because he would be considered a foreign terrorist with the latest FTO designation, that information won't be shared publicly. And while the administration says they will abide by the courts, they've also said this man will not return to the U.S. Here's Attorney General Pam Bondi.
He is not coming back to our country. President Bukele said he was not sending him back. That's the end of the story. There was no situation ever where he was going to stay in this country. None.
So the White House is arguing that this is out of their hands unless El Salvador decides to send him back to the U.S., which to this point they've said that they won't. Attorneys for Abrego Garcia are arguing that the White House should be required to formally request El Salvador return him back to the U.S. Nichole.
All right, so Robert, talk more about this push from some Democratic lawmakers to try to bring him home.
Yeah, I mean, it's being led by Chris Van Hollen, the Democratic senator from Maryland, and he just said moments ago that he has now arrived in El Salvador. He put out this statement saying, quote, "I look forward to meeting with the team at the U.S. Embassy to discuss the release of Mr. Abrego Garcia. I also hope to meet with Salvadoran officials and with Kilmar himself. He was illegally abducted and needs to come home." The White House hitting back at all of this. This is Stephen Chung with the White House saying, quote, "Chris and his friends show more concern and sympathy for an illegal MS-13 gang member than victims of horrific migrant crimes. He is a complete disgrace to his office and should be thoroughly shamed for his disgusting actions." So this back and forth continuing here once again today. Nichole.
It continues. All right, Robert, thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.